Right. Good evening, everyone. I'm just going to give people a few minutes to log in. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday. Tonight we're going to be talking about kick the sick, immunity, adaptability, so many fun topics on the agenda tonight. While I'm waiting for everybody to jump on, I will just set the intention for this webinar. As with all of the webinars that we are doing, our intention behind them is to just provide more information and education on different topics that we're really passionate about and we see a lot of in our office. We believe that an educated parent is an empowered parent, and the more information that you have, the better decision that you'll probably be able to make as a parent about your child or even about yourself. So after watching this webinar, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, or if you think of anyone who might need to hear this information, please share. All right, so let's just, let me introduce myself. Okay, so if you're new to the page, my name is Dr. Victoria. I am owner and chiropractor here at Tree of Life Chiropractic. We are in Portland, Maine, and we love our little community, and we love serving all the kiddos and pregnant mamas and families in this community. We specialize, again, in all things pediatrics, pregnancy, and families, and that's just what we love to do. So let's just dive right into tonight's topic, is kick the sick. So it's the perfect time of year to be talking about this, mainly because we're in a transition. So seasonal transitions can really affect kiddos and adults both, especially as it's getting colder out. Frosty nights and frosty mornings are upon us, and winter is unfortunately quickly approaching. As much as I don't want to say that, it is. Whether we want it to be here or not, it's on its way. So if you or your kiddos are struggling with the sickness during these transitional times, this webinar is definitely for you. Examples of different struggles are asthma, allergies, sleeplessness, coughs, congestion, head colds, sinus infections, ear infections, colds that you can't get rid of. All that good stuff is definitely part of this webinar tonight. So this is really for those parents or those persons that don't want to use medications, that they're sick of using the same antibiotics, steroids over and over again, the same breathing treatments. They want to learn how to do something different that will help support their body naturally. So people aren't really born with a good or a bad immune system, right? So it's ultimately about how adaptable you are and how you are able to adapt to the different stressors that are put in your life and in your environment. So if we were to Google adaptability, what comes up is the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. So what I interpret that as is those conditions could be weather changes, seasonal transitions, more chill in the air, all those sort of things are new conditions that your body is adapting to. And it's not necessarily that there's more bugs and viruses in the air this time of year or going around. It's just that our internal environment is shifting. And if your body is not able to adapt, then you can definitely become more susceptible to stress and sickness. So the better your body is able to adapt, the more strong and resilient you are. And this definitely applies to your immune system as well. A common misunderstanding is that what we're exposed to in our external environment directly influences our internal environment, which this is definitely sort of true, right? But if it were fundamentally true, then wouldn't all of us be sick at the same time? So why is it that I can be healthy where my friend sitting next to me is in the same environment, is exposed to the same things, and she's sick, I'm not, or he's sick and I'm not? And we see this a lot in families too. So we're all in the same environment living under one house, but one kid's sick, the other one's not, or three of them are sick, and that fourth one is just somehow not sick. So what is going on here? What's the deeper thing that's happening? Because we're all exposed to those same environmental changes, the same shifts in the weather, yet again, some of us get sick while others are able to fight off anything that throws their way. The most important thing to ask yourself with that question is just why? Why is this happening to some people and not to others? Is it really about your external environment, or is it more about how adaptable, how strong, how resilient your internal environment is? I'm going to go with the latter one, but I'll explain a little bit more about what I mean. So we love to talk about the nervous system around here, and if you've been following our page, you know that that's pretty much all we talk about is the nervous system, because we love it so much. And what we love about it is, one, it controls everything in your entire body. It's the master system, so it controls your cells, your organs, your tissues, your muscles, your glands. Everything is controlled by that nervous system. And also your nervous system is directly in control of how your body is able to adapt to the different stressors that are thrown your way. Another big reason why we love the nervous system so much is that the nervous system is directly influenced by that chiropractic adjustment. So that's pretty cool. So to review the nervous system, for those of you that might be new or might be landing on our page for the first time, the nervous system has two different modes. The one side is called sympathetic and the other side is called parasympathetic. Another way to say that in an easier term would be the gas pedal, which is the stress mode, and then the brake pedal, which is the relaxation mode. So these two modes of the nervous system always have to be balanced. When one's up, the other one's usually down, and vice versa. So it's kind of always, it's never really like both of them are perfect, right? So it's always kind of a teeter-totter, but your body should be able to bounce between the two different sides of the nervous system pretty easily. And if it's not, then this could be a sign that there's something deeper going on. So stress can affect the nervous system in three different ways. There is physical stress, which could be all of the postures you're getting yourself into, if you're sitting too much, if you're standing too much, in and out of your car all day. For kids, this would be like backpacks, falls, you know, they're playing on the monkey bars and they fall on their head. That's an example of a physical stress. The second stress that happens in our bodies are emotional stress. So emotional stresses could be many different things, but to keep it simple, it's kind of like the thoughts that you're thinking. Are they positive? Are they negative? What's your internal dialogue with yourself? Also, how much is things like social media affecting your internal environment? Are you really influenced by that? Are you, don't care so much about it, that sort of thing. Also emotional would be family drama, family stresses, just drama in general is a good way to talk about emotional stress. And also like major shifts. So like if there's a death in the family or a job change, those are all examples of emotional stresses. And don't think that kids can't have emotional stresses, because they definitely can. We're seeing that more and more today than we ever have before. That's a whole other topic though. So the third stress that can influence the nervous system would be chemical stress. So chemical stressors can be everything that you're eating, everything that you're drinking, all the foods, the toxins and things like that that go in and out of your body, medications, supplements, all these things are affecting your chemical environment. Also, chemical environment is impacted by your environment. So the air that you're breathing, what's in your house as far as cleaners, laundry detergents, soaps, things like that are definitely an example of chemical stressors. So these stressors can definitely throw off that sense of balance in the nervous system. This is why, as chiropractors, we love to focus on the spine in order to directly influence that nervous system and help restore some of that balance action back to your nervous system. So much like the nervous system, the immune system has two sides. The first side of the immune system is known as the Th1 cells. So those cells are responsible for short-term action. So basically they immediately attack when there's a foreign invader, and they're responsible for pushing things out of the body. So you have some virus, some cold coming into your body. The Th1 cells are responsible for pushing that stuff out. So examples of how this would look in your body are fever, inflammation, congestion, coughing, diarrhea, etc. Those are examples of how your body is trying to get rid of some toxins that may be in it. Most people think of those things as bad. However, they're actually a very healthy and a very normal response to the body, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to take those bad things coming in and fight it off and push them out as much as possible. So a good way to give you an example of this would be as if you were camping and you forgot your water supply. So you're camping and you're in the middle of nowhere, you have really no stores around that you can go and buy water from. So what are you going to do when you need water? You're going to find some sort of stream or some lake or pond or something to collect some water. You're going to bring it back to your campfire. You're going to boil that water. And then once it cools down, you're going to be able to drink that water and safely know that you've killed off any of the viruses and bacteria that are floating around in that water. So that's exactly the same thing that happens to your body when you have a fever. So the reason why your body is getting a fever is to increase the internal temperature of your body, which will help to kill and fight off all of those viruses and bacteria that are kind of floating around in there, and then you excrete them through the various forms of excretion, which we don't really have to go into detail about. So that's side one of your immune system. The other side of your immune system is known as it contains the Th2 cells, which are basically just long-term cells. So they're responsible for more memory and building up your resistance and tolerance. So this is more of your proactive side of the nervous system. And it really recognizes the invaders and remembers what to do in order to get them out. So this side, though, of the immune system doesn't work when our nervous system is in stress mode. So when you're in that stress mode of your nervous system, a lot of things don't work properly, but especially your immune system won't work properly. This system really only works if your body's having a proper response in the short term, meaning you're allowing yourself to have that fever, you're allowing yourself to deal with the inflammation, the cough in the normal way that your body was designed to, because this is your body's natural response to fighting off those invaders. So much like the nervous system, the immune system needs to be, again, in a state of balance. So what's tough, though, is when kids and adults both, this can happen to either one, they get stuck in that cycle of sick. So getting cold after cold after cold, and they're never really able to kick the sick. So much of the time when we see this in our office, we ask about any medications. And usually what we find is that they've had round after round of different cough suppressants, fever reducers, congestion suppressants, and we get it. Like, moms and dads, you want to just make your kids feel better, and that's what you think is going to make your kids feel better and ease some of that discomfort and pain. And even for yourself, you're going to do the same thing because you don't want to be in that sick mode and feeling crappy. But what those things are doing is they're called suppressants, they're suppressing your immune system's ability to actually fight off those invaders the way that it was designed to do. The body's pretty incredible, and what it can do and what it's capable of is always fascinating me. And when we actually give it a chance to do its job, it can be a really powerful thing. Sometimes it definitely needs a boost, and a kick in the butt, and we're going to talk about different ways that you can boost your immune system and help increase your adaptability here in a minute. But first, I just want to dive into this whole cold and flu season. I really use those quotation marks because I really don't believe that it's cold and flu season ever. I think that's just kind of a term that the media likes to put out there because everybody's getting sick around the same time, and they don't know what else, as far as a reason why else this could be happening. So why is everybody getting sick at the same time, and why is this leading into a pandemic of cold and flu? Let's look at what's really going on here. So I have 5 common components of what I think cold and flu season really is. So the number one thing is usually this time of year for cold and flu season is right now. And going into those holiday months, it gets even worse, right? And the reason, number one reason why I think cold and flu season is happening is because during this time of year, our bodies are increasing in consumption of sugar. So Halloween is just around the corner here, so you're soon going to have a flood of sugar coming into the household. Stuff you're not normally going to be eating is going to be making its way into your diet. Also coming up are the holidays. So that comes also with those holiday foods. Grandma's apple pie and all those other sweet treats that we really love to enjoy during the holidays are definitely going to affect how your internal environment is perceiving, what's going on. So what happens with this increased sugar is it actually weakens the immune system and it lowers the adaptability of your body, which brings more susceptibility and more likelihood of you developing some sort of cold or illness or sickness, things like that. So a tip for the first part of this is to avoid sugar wherever you can, because that's actually what bacteria and viruses feed off of is sugar. So we don't want to give it more food if we're trying to get rid of it, right? So definitely decrease your sugar as much as you can, and that will help to fight off those viruses and bacteria. So The second part of the cold and flu season is this is the season of stress. So again, the holidays are quickly approaching. That means family parties, family gatherings, we all know how fun those are. Routines are getting thrown out the window. Finances can be an issue for a lot of people during this time of year. That's that emotional stress that we were talking about before. This season is definitely a time with more stress compared to your normal. And everyone can definitely relate to more stress happening during that holiday season. So a good tip is just to try and balance out how much stress you have with something that's not so stressful. So that's going to look different for everybody. For me, my favorite thing to not be so stressed is, number one, get a chiropractic adjustment, because that's what helps me the most. I love walking in nature. That really calms down my mind, my body, and just allows me to kind of regroup if I'm feeling a little bit off stress-wise. And then yoga. Yoga is a huge part of my life. I love doing that almost daily in my own practice, just to really calm down my nervous system and help me deal with my stress. But again, that's going to look different for you. For some people, relaxing is a hot bath or a massage or whatever that looks like for you. Do more of it during this time of the year if you don't want to get that cold and flu sickness. So the third thing here with the cold and flu season is a lack of sunshine. And I know you guys definitely feel me here being in Maine. It's dark out already. It's 6 o'clock. It was dark at like 5. What is this? So you're waking up in the morning, it's dark. You're going to bed you're getting out of work and it's dark. So we're not getting a lot of sunshine. That's definitely affecting our internal environment. And as far as vitamin D, a tip to deal with the lack of sunshine would be to get a high quality dose of vitamin D. And I mean like a good supplement. Make sure it's not full of a bunch of chemicals, because again, if it's full of a bunch of chemicals, then you're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot there. So really want a clean, good source of vitamin D, and that's going to help to boost your immune system. And also, when it is sunny, get outside as much as you can and just increase that natural vitamin D too. The fourth part of this cold and flu season is definitely lack of physical activity. So this happens again when our schedule starts to get busier. The first thing to usually drop off, and we're all guilty of it, I'm guilty of it too, when we get busy, our physical routine kind of takes a dip and goes down, and we're like, oh, I don't have time for the gym. But like really, movement is key to helping our body detox. And that really helps to keep us healthy. It helps to keep the nervous system more balanced. So try not to, you don't have to go to the gym. You can just go for a walk or just get your body moving, because that's going to help your body detox. I like to compare it to like if you had a respiratory cold and you're sitting on the couch all day because you're feeling crappy. When you actually get up and do something, say you have to go to the store and get some food or something, you get movement, you actually start to feel a little bit better, because that lymphatic system is pumping. You're able to drain all those toxins out, get some blood flow moving. That blood flow is going to increase your body temperature, which again helps fight off whatever's invading you. So good. Physical activity is a good thing. We want to do more of it if we can. The fifth thing here for cold and flu season is definitely poor sleep. So the same reason, right? Our schedules are so busy, our routine gets kind of shifted off with all these family parties and holiday events and all the things that are about to happen. But when that happens, our sleep usually, gets affected by that. So really a tip for that is just try to go to bed a little bit earlier. Stick in that routine as much as possible, especially if you have little ones at home. You know how important a routine is for a kid. The second that routine gets shifted, it's like all hell breaks loose. So we really want to focus on bringing back the sleep, promoting that natural body's response to rest and heal itself. Chiropractic adjustments will definitely help calm down that nervous system, especially if you're having a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, all that sort of stuff. It can really help to pump the brakes, which will allow your body to relax a little bit better. So how much adaptability do we have, and how much stress do we have coming at us? So these are great questions, right? And how do we measure it? So we actually have a really awesome piece of technology in our office. It's called the Insight Scanner, and it's a state-of-the-art piece of technology that actually allows us to scan your nervous system and it shows us how adaptable your body is to stress. It also kind of tells us where you're at as far as baseline. You know, if you're more of the go, 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 stress, stress, stress kind of person, or if you're more of the chill, relaxation kind of person, and how that's actually affecting what's going on internally for you. So we can see all this with the technology that we use, and we use this technology on everyone. It's safe for babies, it's safe for pregnant moms, and it really does give us a lot of information about what's going on. But why am I talking about this, right? Why is a chiropractor talking about immunity and immune system and adaptability and all these things? The biggest reason is, again, those chiropractic adjustments really come into play. They boost your immune system up to 200% in some studies, which that's crazy. I mean, immunity boost, hello, that's great, sign me up. Also increase your body's ability to adapt to the different stressors that are coming in. And the last part specific to immunity is that adjustments increase those chemical messengers in order to fight off foreign invaders. So we talked about those Th1 cells and those Th2 cells. Those are those chemical messengers that if your body is getting adjusted, you're actually rebooting that nervous system, which reboots that immune system and actually allows your body to fight off the invaders like it was supposed to. So, if you guys found this video helpful, please share. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can call us, email us, leave us a message on here, whatever you need to do to get those questions answered, please do so. And I'm going to sign off because I'm actually feeling a little bit under the weather, which means that I'm going to go get adjusted, I'm going to drink tons of water, and I'm going to go to bed early because I know those 3 things are really going to help my body feel better and recharged. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Tuesday, and we will see you soon for our next webinar. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.